Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I have my July wrap-up and August TBR, because somehow summer is almost over. This is ridiculous, guys. This is ridiculous. So July was a better rated month than June, but still not the greatest. I'm in this kind of weird slump. It's not like a complete reading slump where I just don't want to read at all, because I want to read, and I do read a little bit, and I love what I'm reading when I'm reading it, but once I stop, I don't have motivation to keep reading it. So I almost have to make myself read it, but I love it when I do read it. It doesn't make any sense. I'm loving what I'm reading, but I don't feel like reading it. It's a weird kind of slump. I'm not sure what's going on. It's pathetic, really. I did, however, manage to get 4 books read this month, which is better than last month. Last month only had like 3, I think. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly. But without further ado, the books. The first book I read in the month of July was Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, the second book in the Lunar Chronicles. And if you don't know what the Lunar Chronicles is about, have you been living under a rock? The first book is a retelling of Cinderella, where Cinderella is a cyborg. Yeah. And then each book in the series adds in some characters and adds in a retelling of a different fairy tale. For example, book 2, Scarlet, a retelling of Red Riding Hood. I didn't like Scarlet as much as I liked Cinder. I loved Cinder. Not as much Scarlet. I did still really enjoy it, it just wasn't my favorite. And I hear a lot of people say that. The insta-love in this book was insane, and that's part of why I was kind of like, I'm not a fan of insta-love. If you know me, you know I'm not a fan of insta-love. And this one was just kind of like, so... But I still really enjoyed the book, and I really like how she went back and forth between the characters and how she's adding in the new characters, because I wasn't sure how she was going to do that. If they're just going to be like a whole new people and just focus on them, or if they're just going to tie in everybody else. So I'm really loving how she's working the series. It's really good. The second book I read in the month of July was The Mother-Daughter Book Camp by Heather Vogel Frederick. This is the actual final book in the Mother-Daughter Book Club series. She originally ended it on book 6, but then there was the news that she decided, you know what, I'm going to do one more book, and my sister and I were like, yes! And it was great. For those of you who don't know, the Mother-Daughter Book Club is about a group of girls whose mothers do yoga together, and they got the idea that, hey, we should form a book club where the mothers and the daughters read books together. It'll be a great bonding experience. But the daughters don't exactly get along. It's great. I love it. And like I said, she ended with the 6th book. This last book is a few years after the 6th book, and it's right before all the kids go off to college, and so you kind of get an idea of what they're planning on doing with their lives. It's just a really great series. It's really relatable. Like, there's the evil witch Mother Eye of Doom, and I get that look a lot. So I know what they're talking about when they say that. It's just a really relatable series. Really cute. If you want a series that's well written, but just a fun, lighthearted series, pick this one up. It's great. The third book I read in the month of July was The Help by Catherine Stockett. This book is about a bunch of different women in Jackson, Mississippi during the whole civil rights movement, you know, Martin Luther King Jr., all that going on. And it switches from the perspectives of 3 different women. One is a white woman named Skeeter. Another perspective is Minnie, and she is a black woman. She works as a maid, but she is a very opinionated person. And the other woman is another black maid named Abilene, or Abilene. I'm not quite sure which way it's supposed to be. I always just said Abilene because it flowed better in my mind. And that's about them getting together to write a book about the truths of being a maid in Jackson, Mississippi, one of the most racist places at that time. And it was a really good book. It was one of those kind of just, you have to sit back and think like, oh, that's pretty awful. And it's just interesting to see all the different perspectives of the time period. And I discovered that I really enjoy books like this. I read The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd a while back, and I really like that book, and that kind of has not the same vibe of this one, it's pretty different than this one, but the same type of message that The Help has, and I really enjoyed that book too. The fourth and final book I read in the month of July was The 12th Night by William Shakespeare, and it was great. I knew it was going to be great, and it was great. I love William Shakespeare. His stuff is amazing. The 12th Night follows a bunch of different characters, a bunch of confusion over who loves who. This guy likes this girl, but this girl likes this guy who actually isn't a guy and is a girl dressed up as a guy. And then this guy who's technically a girl likes this guy. You get my drift. It's hilarious. I'm telling you, it's great. And I forgot to mention this before I started talking about them. The last 3 books I read in the month of July were part of the BookTube-a-thon that was going on. during July. So there's kind of my booktubeathon wrap up. I didn't finish 12th Night in the time period. I finished it the next day, but whatever. I still finished it. So now onto the TBR for August. I am currently reading Crest by Marissa Meyer. I am almost halfway through with it. This is the one where I said it's kind of like it's a weird slump, because I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. But I'm just never like, oh, I gotta pick it up and read it. But when I do pick it up and read it, I absolutely love it. But then I can easily put it down. Does that make sense? Like, but yeah, Crest. I'm gonna be finishing this. Hopefully. How long is it taking me to finish this stupid series? And of course, I also want to read Winter by Marissa Meyer. Finally finish the series. Hopefully that'll actually happen. We'll see. The last book that I know that I want to read in the month of August is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And you're probably thinking, why? Well, Zoe, if you're Read by Zoe on YouTube, is having a book club where we read Jane Austen books. Guys, that is so far up my alley, it's not even funny. And the book that we're starting with, of course, is Pride and Prejudice. If you want to join, I'll leave her YouTube video linked down below. It's called the Ostentatious Book Club. She has a cute little logo for it. It's gonna be great. So you should join the book club along with me. We can be pals. Let me know down below if you're joining, because obviously I am. Also comment down below, let me know how many books you read this month. If you were in a slump last month like me and then are slowly getting out of it, kind of, sort of, hopefully. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see y'all again in another one soon.